Welcome to the Armani Talks YouTube channel. I'm your host, Armani Talks. In this channel, we're covering communication skills to help you level up your confidence, charisma, and brand presence. Today's talk is regarding how to develop an attractive personality, otherwise known as how to be a little bit more charismatic. Being handsome and being attractive are not the same things. Handsome is physical, while attractive is behavioral. So let's say you dictate your entire worth from being handsome. Well, being handsome, there's certain things that you can control, and there are certain things that you can't control. What can you control? Well, if you're someone that's too fat or too skinny, you could always take your ass to the gym and start lifting some weights. That's something within your control. But let's say you're evaluating your looks strictly based off of your height. Well, you could kick and scream as much as you want, but after a certain period of time, your height is not something that's within your control. That is something that is fixed. So this is the world of being handsome. Now, in the world of being attractive, which is completely different, because like I said, it's behavioral, you have a lot more control. Don't listen to all these tests that tell you that your personality is fixed for life. There's been many occasions where your personality has changed throughout the context of your life. There's been many times where people that you know, their personalities have changed multiple times in their life. So don't listen to this limiting belief that your personality is fixed for life. Your personality is like your height. Absolutely incorrect. You can always evolve your personality. You can always change your attitude. You can always install renewed beliefs that allow you to alter your behavior. And that's where the attractive personality comes in. If this is something that is within our control, and we realize that the personality dictates personal reality, it's not rocket science to understand that there's certain things that we need to learn about it. Especially if we're someone that is an engineer, an entrepreneur, an upcoming businessman, we have a family, we want more friends, whatever. The personality follows us like our shadow. And in today's talk, I'm going to be giving you the law of the attractive personality. It's something that's completely subjective based, and it requires you to evolve your thinking. Rather than having a one-size-fits-all approach regarding humans, you need to transition to a case-by-case approach towards humans. The more that you can make this shift from one-size-fits-all approach to case-by-case, the more attractive and warm that your personality is going to become. Now wait, Armani, what do you mean this whole one-size-fits-all to case-by-case? I don't quite understand what you mean by that. All right, cool. So let me give you two examples to help you understand this in a practical manner. Example number one. This was a couple of years ago. I would say I was 17 or 18 at the time, and my brother and we were getting ready to sign up for a gym. As we were getting ready to sign up for the gym, there was this guy that greeted us, and he said he was going to show us around this gym and get us all set up. His name was Sean. Now, as Sean started to introduce himself to us, I noticed something throughout our entire interaction. He was looking at my brother the entire time when he was talking, and he would just completely ignore me. So anytime in our interaction, he would be like, "So have you been to the gym before? Oh, okay, what do you eat for breakfast? What do you do this? What do you do that?" And he's just looking at my brother the entire time, where I'm over here just kind of like, he's not asking me a single question. All right, whatever. He probably thinks my brother is the older one, which he is, and he makes all the decisions, which is completely fine. All right, you want to talk to him the entire interaction? Go for it. But here's what irked me the most. There was a period during our interaction as he was giving us his little tour. He's like, to me, finally, he starts talking to me, and he's just like, "Hey, why are you so quiet for? You don't say much, do you?" And that right there is when I got so fucking livid. I'm thinking in my mind, of course I'm not saying this to him. I'm like, "Motherfucker, man. You're over here talking to him the entire time. You don't say a single word to me, and now you're asking me why I'm so quiet?" And I was livid. I didn't like this Sean guy at all. And he was supposed to give me like this free a personal training session, which I declined, of course, and I went straight into the gym and worked out by myself. After this whole tour, my brother was like, yo, Sean, he's a cool guy. While I'm like, he's not a cool guy. The dude's an asshole. Now notice, we had the same interaction with the same person, but we had two completely different perspectives regarding this individual. Keep this in mind. Example number 2. With example number 2, this occurred last year, and this was an individual that I met in a networking event. I don't want to drop his real name because I know you're watching this, so I'll call him Pablo. With Pablo, when I met him in the networking event, he's someone that I considered a little standoffish. Anytime I would ask him a question, he would take a super long time to respond. Hey, so what do you do? Business. And he would give this general responses to a point where it didn't feel like he wanted to interact. And we were talking for a certain amount of time, and eventually it got to a point where I'm like, all right, I gotta talk to someone else, man. But before I'm about to leave, Pablo asks me for my contact information, and we swap information. Well, 2 weeks goes on by, and Pablo gives me a call, which is pretty surprising because we didn't really connect like that. I'm surprised he's giving me a call. I pick up. He's like, hey, Armani, I got a referral to send you. All right, what's the best way to get you set up? And he sends me this brilliant client, my ideal customer, and he sends me over all this money, which I thought this was very nice of Pablo. A few days goes by, I thank Pablo. I'm like, yo, thanks for that referral. I truly do appreciate it. Pablo was like, yeah, you appreciated it? All right, we'll have 2 more referrals for you. And he sends me 2 more referrals. Now at this point, my perspective regarding Pablo is completely different. Before, I was viewing him as condescending and socially awkward, but now I view him as a dope guy, a cool guy. I like him. And now you and I, Pablo, we're friends. So from these 2 examples, did you notice a certain pattern? The main pattern is that it all comes down to having a value-added mindset. Are you leaving someone a little bit better off than you found them? That's all it comes down to regarding the attractive personality. Are you leaving someone better off a little bit better? Now, with the first example, Sean was leaving my brother better off, but he was not leaving me better off at all. He was actually taking away my energy because during the entire interaction, I felt as though, does this guy not like me? Why isn't he talking to me? Why isn't he asking me a single question? And he sort of insults me by saying, well, why are you so quiet? So he took away a lot of the value in context to me. But in context to my brother, he was showing him all this attention. He was giving him all these questions, these compliments, and he was adding value. So that's why my brother viewed him as a charismatic presence, but I viewed him as a repulsive presence. That's example 1. Now with example 2, in the initial part of mine and Pablo's interaction, he was over here being condescending, taking all this time to respond. I mean, he was draining my energy. So I did not view him as an attractive personality at all. I didn't like his behavior. But as the few weeks went on by, and he was sending me all these referrals, sending me all these clients, now he was actually providing value, not only in a personality based, but in a financial base as well. And it was just boom. Now it's an attractive personality. Pablo, I don't care how socially awkward I initially thought you were, but now I view you as a charismatic presence. So do you see how this thing works? It comes down to a case-by-case basis. You can't add value to someone's life if you don't even know what this person is discussing or what this person is going through. It's sort of like if I'm tutoring an engineering student and I'm giving them all the formulas to pass their engineering exam, and then I go to a nursing student and I start giving them the same exact engineering formulas. Does that seem right to you? No. It's because as an engineer, I can provide value to an engineer by leaving them a little better off, while for the nurse, It's the same information, but now it's a standalone act. They're in maintenance mode, or at times they'll be feeling drained because I'm giving them wrong information. They'll be thinking, man, I could be watching Netflix now. Why is this idiot talking to me about engineering formula so much? Which is why, in order to develop an attractive personality, the first thing that you want to start doing is taking the focus off of yourself. The focus being on yourself, that's one of the main reasons you have social anxiety in the first place. Social anxiety is born when there's too much spotlight on you. And when there's too much spotlight on you, you start becoming separate from the other individual, and you start becoming too me focused. You start wondering how this person can give value to you. When you ask questions like, well, does this person like me? That's something that's unfortunate that happens due to social anxiety. However, that is becoming a toxic force towards this interaction, which is why the attractive personality, they're always able to put the focus on the other individual, and now they're able to treat humans on a case-by-case basis. With Sean, the personal trainer, where he was fucking up was that he wasn't treating it like a case-by-case basis. It's as though there was only one human in front of him and the other person was sort of like the human shadow, and it completely made everything lopsided and it just didn't work. And with my brother, like, he got the benefit of it, but if you want to leave people better off than you found them, then you got to start involving everyone in the group. You can't just be focusing on one person, be like, oh, well, I added value to this person, but this person I took away from. That's not how social skills work. You want to treat each person as though they're their own unique individual. And the more that you can do that, the more that you're automatically just taking the spotlight off of yourself and putting it on the other person. That's all the value-added personality comes down to. You don't have to be this completely like jokester all the time, always saying the right things, always being the center of attention. All that stuff, they show it on TV shows. They portray the popular kid as, always being surrounded by a herd of people. In the real world, though, that is not how it works. Leave entertainment in the world of entertainment and use social skills the way that it's meant to be applied. Humans have egos, and once you can start to work your social skills in a way where you maintain your authenticity and you can work with their egos as well, now charisma is something that is just a byproduct. Pablo, trust me, if you meet him for the first time, he is not someone that you would consider the traditional charismatic type, but he works with what he has and he's pretty damn good at it. The business that he has, he's able to refer people on autopilot, and that's what his unique advantage is. So the moral of today's video is focus on the behavioral sides to you. What is it that you have and how can you provide value towards other people? If there's someone that is a great communicator that feels as though they have communications figured out left and right, and they stumble onto this channel, they're probably not going to get any value. It is what it is. Deuces. But let's say you're someone that is shy, someone that is not confident with public speaking, someone that doesn't understand human dynamics on a deep level, and you stumble onto this channel, you may get value. So I keep saying, case by case basis. The more that you can treat each individual as a unique case, the more that you maintain your attractive personality and the more others feel drawn towards you. The more dynamic that you become, the more that you always remain agile. Social skills is something that we're never going to fully figure out, and that's what keeps everything fun. Leverage your social skills, build your social intelligence, and if you want more practical insights like this into the world of charisma, be sure to sign up for my free daily newsletter in the description box right down below. Thank you for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel, and I will catch you on the next episode.